In this video, we are looking at query parameters in FastAPI, the key value pairs that appear after the question mark in a URL. FastAPI gives you these for free just by writing a normal Python function parameter, and it handles parsing, validation, and documentation without any extra code from you. In a plain Python web framework, when a client sends a URL like /items $skip equals 0 and limit equals 10, you receive the query string as raw text. You have to manually pull out each key, convert the strings to integers, decide what to do if a key is missing, and write that logic again for every single endpoint. It is repetitive, error-prone, and invisible to any documentation tool. Think of calling out a coffee order. The drink name latte is mandatory, like the path in a URL. But extras like milk type or number of shots are optional customizations you tack on only when needed. The barista has sensible defaults if you stay quiet. FastAPI treats query parameters exactly like that, clearly optional, with defaults you define and ignored when not provided. FastAPI's rule is simple. If a parameter name appears in curly braces in the path string, it is a path parameter. Every other function parameter is automatically treated as a query parameter. The type annotation, int, bool, str, tells FastAPI what to coerce the incoming string into. A default value makes the parameter optional. Omitting the default makes it required, and FastAPI will return a clear validation error if the client forgets to supply it. We import FastAPI in optional, then create the app instance. The first root is at /items with no curly braces in the path at all. The three function parameters, skip typed as int defaulting to 0, limit typed as int defaulting to 10, and search typed as optional str defaulting to none, are all query parameters. FastAPI reads the URL, finds those keys, converts them to the right Python types, and injects them. If search is provided, we filter the list, then we slice with skip and limit. The second root has item_id in the path, so that is a path parameter, but verbose is not in the path, so it becomes a query parameter. Because it has a bool type, FastAPI accepts values like true or false, or 1 in the URL and converts them for you. When a request arrives, FastAPI uses Python's introspection to read your function's parameter names and type annotations. It compares those names against the path template. Anything not in curly braces becomes a query parameter. Pydantic then validates and converts the raw string values, so you always receive a properly typed Python object inside your function. If a required parameter is absent or the wrong type, FastAPI sends back a 422 error with a precise message before your function is even called. As a bonus, every query parameter is documented automatically in the interactive Swagger UI at /docs. Query parameters shine for things like pagination, filtering, and optional flags. Anything a client might want to vary without changing which resource they are addressing. But if a value uniquely identifies a resource, put it in the path. If you are sending a complex nested payload, use a request body. And never put secrets or tokens in a query string. They end up in server logs and browser history. Knowing where each kind of data belongs keeps your API both idiomatic and secure. To recap, the rule FastAPI follows is beautifully simple. If the parameter name is not inside curly braces in the path, it is a query parameter. The type annotation does the parsing work, the default value controls whether it is required or optional, and optional with none handles the case where the parameter might not be sent at all. You get validation and interactive documentation for free, which lets you focus on your actual business logic.